Hi everyone, good morning all. So far, we got a big gap, around 10 to 12 days, and thereafter we are continuing the sessions. So many people are missing, only 5 members are there. Okay, no worries. So everybody available, right?
Yeah, sir.
Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So let's start with today's topic. So today's topic will be exception. Okay. So what is mean by exception or like anything? Do you know about this? What is this exception? So let me bring you the hierarchy first. Imagine there will be a parent class, okay? The class name is throwable, okay? Class name is throwable. Under this throwable class, we have two categories. One is error, another one is exception. Okay. Now again, exception is having two categories. One is compile time exception. Another one is runtime exception. So firstly, what is an error? What is an exception? What do you mean by that? Is there any difference? Does anybody know?
Sir, if error comes, but we need that error as an exception, for that we will use the exception.
Sorry, if error occurs,
Sir, we need that error, sir. We need to find that error. For that we need exception. Like error means like we have some rules for that, which is like there is an error called if x is equal to something we are given, that is an error. For
okay.
that I need that exception. I need that one, whether it is correct or not. For that I am giving exception for that.
Mm,
I think I am totally messed up.
no, no. You tried, but it is not right. It seems
Okay.
error means so. If we go deeper in these two words, okay, I'll make it simple. Okay, so simple thing. Error means we cannot handle. Means user cannot handle it. Why user cannot handle it? Imagine there is some good code. Okay, there is some simple code. Suppose let me take a code like this.
Like this.
Create the project here first. Okay. Imagine there is a simple program. Okay, simple program. Even though as per our Java knowledge, everything is fine. There is no mistake in any line of the code. Everything is fine. What we have done, we have compiled and executed. We need to get the proper result when everything is fine, right? Yes or no? At that time also, still you won't get any kind of result. That is known as JVM issue. Means a error which was not made by the developer or user. but it occurs internally. That thing is known as error. Okay, error. Let's load this thing. Okay, I'll open this one. It is taking some time to load this. Right. It is taking too long. Let's do one thing. Let's close this project and create some new project. So what we'll do means we'll create one simple class. Okay, we'll create a simple class like the same class name is entry. Okay, so what I'm doing here means so writing public static void main. Okay, so guys tell me, is there any kind of error in this program? Any kind, anything missing? For your like requirement, I'll import some packages also here. Okay, import java.util.star. Okay, anything is missing? If I run this program, I need to get the result. Yes or no? Let's see. It is better if we go with some online compiler. This is wasting complete time. What is happening? This thing. Everything is very slow. Okay, let's see here. Okay. So we got the normal result. Here, what I'll do means I'm calling this method. So if any kind of error is there, imagine if any kind of syntax mistake or anything is there, your compiler will show you in a red color. If I miss this, see, it is showing there is some error. Imagine this is a compiler. If I run this, I'll get semicolon missing something, right? If I do with the same thing, okay, I'll show you here. So previously, so this is correct statement. If I miss this, again some error is there. Means your compiler is automatically compiling. Firstly, before executing, it will compile. So if I put this, means there is no error. For the same thing, I'll do. I'm going to call my method itself. Method name is my main. So calling. So with some arguments. So is there any error? Does your compiler shows any red color? Means your code is technically correct. So if I run this, see what happens. What do you got? Exception in thread main stack overflow. What is that? Stack overflow error. It is calling this class. We got stack overflow error and our program crashed. If we get any exit code with 1, means your program has crashed. If you get exit code with 0, then your program is executed successfully. That is the status code. So even though there is no error exists technically, but still it failed. Why? Means stack overflow. Again, you see, this is known as a recursion concept. This loop will, like this method, I'm calling inside this method again and again, it is going to be repeated. So the stack which the memory allocated is being full. This is not a human mistake. So human, like a user, cannot handle this kind of situations. This is known as error. Now I'll show you the difference between error. So everybody got this? What is error? Hello?
Yes, sir.
You got? Okay. So now what I'll do means I'll show you the difference between error and exception. So what is exception here again? An unwanted event. Okay. Unwanted event occurs. Okay. Occurs during the execution of a program. Means whenever you are executing some program, some unwanted event occurred, which disturbs the normal flow of your execution, is known as exception. An unwanted event occurred during execution of a program. which disturbs the normal flow of your program execution is known as exception. Means, imagine you are traveling from place A to place B. The road is safe. Okay, the route is completely safe and road is completely clear. So what are the chances that you expect while you are traveling from place A to place B? Might be a fuel shortage. For that you have kept backup with some fuel in your car. Okay, might be some vehicle issue. For that also you have kept backup with a mechanic in your car. Okay, these are expected things. Fuel shortage or something like light failure, so for that you will go in daytime. Okay, these are expected things. Do you expect any elephant comes in between your route and crash your car? So what is that? That is known as unexpected, means unwanted event occur during you are traveling from place A to place B. You are not even expecting that elephant will crash your vehicle. These are not like, these are rare cases. That events are known as exceptions. And errors cannot be handled by the user. Exceptions can be handled by the user. Okay, can be handled by user. How he can handle? The question is how he can handle. You can take a screenshot of this thing. I'll make you to understand it in very simple way. This is the big concept, okay? And most important thing, please get focused, okay? If any doubt is there, please stop me there itself and ask. So we are saying, I have shown you error. Then let's see how exception looks. So imagine here I am having, okay, a statement, okay, one, okay, one. I'm going to write three statements, okay. Here what I'll tell you means, imagine two. Is there any syntax error or is it technically correct or wrong? Please tell me. Everybody.
No error, sir. It is
No error.
technically also correct.
Technically correct, right? Now, if I remove this semicolon, then compiler is pointing you there is some mistake, right? So you as a Java developer can tell me what is the mistake. Come on, tell me what is the mistake there. Mistake
Sir,
of semicolon means if you run this program, if you run this program, your compiler will not allow you to execute this because before executing, you need to correct that. Two steps: write program, compile, and execute. Please remember this strategy, everybody. First step, write program. Then what happens? Compile your program for mistakes. Then only execute. Three steps. You should not follow. So we have wrote the program, right? So we are compiling. Compiling means correctness. So while compiling itself, before executing only, our compiler has shown some red color point indication. There is some mistake. See what is that exception? Compile time error. It has an okay expected semicolon. Okay. Now what I'll do here means, let us take a simple example. Can you tell me what is 5 by 2? 2.5, right? So what is 10 by 5? 2, right? What if I put 10 divided by 0? What is this? As per mathematical logic, it is infinite. But what about programming? Is there infinity symbol in your keyboard? Can you can you type infinity symbol? No, infinity is not in digital way. So then see this, okay? So everything is technically correct. I'll put something here, 10 by 2. First one, okay? And third one, I'll put 10 by 5, 10 by 0. So tell me, is there any technical error in this? Technical error. If it was there, then your compiler would point you with red color. It is just a warning, yellow color. Don't remember. If I miss, then your compiler tell me it is error. So no error. If I run this, what will happen? As per our knowledge, say firstly 10 divided by 2, first statement is correct. 10 divided by 0, as per math, it is also correct. 10 divided by 5, it is also correct. But what happens if I run this? So everything is correct. So here what happens? Everything is correct. So we have wrote the program. So compiler is also not showing any red color mark. So compiled successfully, written successfully. What about execution? Will your program execute? Come on, guess me. Will your program execute here? If executes, what would be the result? If no, what would be the result? Guess it, guess. What is that? Math exception. Okay. Still others? This will execute or not? If yes, what would be the result? If no, what would be the result? You can try it, guys. So let me. So I have wrote the program, compiled it, and now I am executing it. See what happened? So this is the file name. Okay, it's the file name. No need to worry. Next thing, we got the output as 5. What should be the output? Output should be for this one, it would be 5. For this one, infinity. This one, 2. 5, infinity, 2. But we got only 5. After that, we got exception in thread main. Arithmetic exception. Slash by 0 at entry. Process finished with exit code 0. Did you understand anything? So see here, imagine this statement is correct. This is some kind of, it is not mistake. It is some unexpected event. It is not a mistake. But this statement is correct. Imagine these three are 3 employees. These 3 statements are like employees. If one of them is having some issue with the work, if you stop paying salary to all of these 3 people because of only that person, is it a fair? No, right? So first person got, second person is having some issue, he got weighted there itself. Imagine you are booking some train ticket. First, some 100 members came and booked their tickets. So tickets were booked. Later, one person came. He tried to book. Like his payment is retrieving for infinity times. Means for imagine for 5 minutes. But his payment is not working. Do you stop there and wait until that payment finish, or will you move for next thing? What will be the fate? Firstly, 100 members came and booked the tickets. Next person came. He was trying to book, but his payment was under process. If you stop there and wait for others, is it a fair or it is a scalable application? No. You should not wait because next persons are in the queue to book the tickets. Same thing. You need to handle. So how to handle this? This is known as exception. An unwanted event occurs during the execution of a program which disturbs the normal flow. See, normal flow is disturbed. So then how to handle this? I said we can handle this one. How to handle? Try catch. Okay. There are many ways to handle exceptions. So now we are talking about runtime exception, means unchecked exception. Compile time means checked exception. Who is checking, user or compiler? Compiler will check. Okay. Runtime means it is just checking up to syntax errors. Okay. Now we are talking about which example? Runtime exception. Means our compiler has successfully compiled that, but it was not executed. Runtime exception. So how to handle this? We have two ways. One thing, we call it as try block. Okay. Here in this block, we'll put that risky. We cannot call it risky. We can say something like doubtful code. Okay. We are unsure about that. We can put that inside the try block. And we have a block followed by try is known as catch block, which passes the statement of the error where it is happening. So how does it looks? Okay, let me do one thing. So in statement number 1, do you have any doubt? You are sure, right? Statement 1 is sure, no issue. What about statement 2? Are you sure or unsure? We are unsure. So what we need to do? We need to put the statement inside a try block. Means put the statement. Even though it is second statement only. See, this is the first statement. This will be the second statement. But we are putting that doubtful code inside this one. Now we need to put a catch block. Here, what I am doing means I am not sure about this statement. It might throw some exception. I don't know what kind of exception it will throw. At that time, you need to put some argument known as exception with object E. Okay. So what is this? This thing. We don't know whether it is compile time exception or runtime exception, and what kind of exception it will throw, we don't know. There are multiple kinds of exceptions. Okay. Array index bounds exception, out of bounds exception, null pointer exception, arithmetic exception, out of memory exception, different stack overflow exception, different, but we don't know particularly. For that, you can directly put exception and provide a statement to the user. What statement you need to provide? Means there is some exception in this. So try block is catching that exception. Sorry, try block is taking care of that exception and passing to catch block to send some message that what kind of exception occurred. So this will be, this try block will throw this exception to here that is stored in that E. So what does E contains? How do we need to print? Means E dot get message. This is the method. Okay. If you write this line, E contains what kind of exception is occurred. So if you apply this method to that E dot get message, We'll come to see what exception is occurred in our console. Next statement is third one. Is there any issue with this? No. So what I'll do, I'll execute now. So we got only 5 before handling the exception. Now see what you got, 5. Later, this one. Now think of 3 employees. He has done the mistake. Okay. Middle person has done the mistake. First person got salary. He got his separate message that due to your mistake we cannot provide you. Third person got his salary. This is known as a scalable way. If you stop here itself and keep others to wait after that statement, that is not known as a scalable application. That won't work. Means it is inconsistent. Do you agree? This one is good or previous one was good? If I talk about scalability, which one will you prefer? Which one will you prefer?
This one, sir.
Right? So everybody should get their own need. We should not stop others because of only one person. So I said here, we don't know what kind of exception it is. So that's why I mentioned exception. If I know it is an arithmetic exception, then I can directly write here. So here I can directly write arithmetic exception. That's it. Okay. Arithmetic exception. Now see here, instead of writing e.get message, I'll write the message directly there itself. Divide by 0 is not allowed. I'll write some statement. After that, I'll put one more catch block with exception. E. In this, I'll put e.get message. Here. How many statements are there? Statement 1, statement 2, and statement 3. Now, try block contains the unsure code. We need to put inside that one to stop crashing of entire program. Then we need to put, the question is here, we need to put a catch block followed by a try block. So do I need to put more than one catch block or only one is enough? If one statement is having one exception, then only one catch block is enough. If more than one are there, you can put multiple. So now see here, only one statement is there. I'll put 2 catch blocks for that. Okay, 2 catch blocks for that. What is this error? Delete catch for Java laundry items. No catch. I'll do one thing. We'll copy this one. We'll go for some online compiler here. So run this one. So you got compilation error. Arithmetic exception has already been caught. E.get message over here. if I put here, so 5 divided by 0 is not allowed, 2. Now, the same scenario, okay, the same scenario, what I'll do, I'll write one more statement. Imagine there is some array. How we declare array? Integer a equals to, imagine new int of size we need to mention it. I'll put size as 3. Okay. So what does this line represents? We have declared an array. Array name is A, whose size is 3. Means we can store 3 elements into it. Imagine 3 elements have been stored there. Now, if I try to, okay, if I try to fetch fifth element of an array, fifth element of an array, what happens? Only there are 3 elements. But if we try to fetch fifth element, which is not available, so what should happen?
Array index bound.
Array index
Bound.
out of bounds exception. So before moving to that, I'll tell you some exceptions. Okay. Runtime, or else we can call it as unchecked, means compiler will not check this exceptions. Checked exception means compiler will check. This one we are having example as arithmetic exception. Okay. Next we have something known as array index out of bounds exception. This one is bigger. Means your array is having size 3. If you try to fetch the fifth element from where I can bring, it is out of bounds. Like that kind of exception it is producing. So we have seen arithmetic exception. Let's see array index out of bounds exception. See, is there any issue with this? So we are not sure. Is there any issue with this technically? No technical issue. So let me run this one. What happens? What do you want? What do you want? 5, then divide by 0, then 2. What about this statement? Where does it go? So now, if I, okay, if I comment this, what you will get? 5, array index out of bounds exception, index 5 out of bounds for length 3. Then how can I handle 2? Actually, I'm having 2 mistakes. Means 2 runtime exceptions. But I am getting only 1. So, whatever the lines of code, no matter how many lines are there, no matter how many statements are there, which are unsure, that should be kept in one try block. But for each statement, there should be separate catch blocks. So here there are 2 unsure statements. We wrote only one catch block. So let's write, okay, let's write another catch block, which is array index out of bounds exception. Imagine array index out of bounds exception. Println e dot get message. Is it correct or not? You can tell me. See, is this correct or not? Again, why you are getting that error? So exception belongs to all kinds of exceptions. Means array index out of bounds exception, null pointer, arithmetic, everything. Here you need to mention it separately. Imagine first one was arithmetic exception. If you write it arithmetic exception. So this exception message is this one. Next, this exception message is this one. Clearly, right? So if you mention exception, it belongs to everything. It will tell that already it is declared. Why you are declaring it? So you need to declare it particularly what kind of exception it will occur. Okay, no matter the alignment, whether you are putting first one like in the same order you need to put or no need. Okay. So see here, this is arithmetic exception, but it is the second catch block. It is not the first catch block. It will directly go here. It will depends upon this order, not the catch blocks order. Okay. Now let me run this. See what you got. 5 again divided by 0 again 2. Then what about that exception? Array index out of bounds. Why it is not getting? Think of it. So what do you mean by exception? We came to know. Okay, some unwanted event occur and disturbs the regular flow of execution. And you know how to handle one try block with one catch block, right? Then what if my program is having multiple exceptions? Let's check it. Okay, let's check it in different way. I'll put okay. I'll put one try block and one catch block for each and every statement. Imagine let's write like that. Okay. This one would be array index out of bounds. I'll comment it out. And this one would be arithmetic exception. Okay. See, one try block, one catch block. Later another statement is there. Okay. Now let's run this. What do you want? So from this, what do you learned? There will be some exception. If you are not sure about that exception, you just need to write exception in catch block. If you are familiar with what kind of exception will occur, then you can put it particularly in catch block. And next thing, for one exception, we need one try block and one catch block. For everything, we need one try and one catch. Multiple statements cannot be put inside one try block. Understand? Now, what I'll do means simply see here. Okay. So what kind of exception this is? First one is okay. I'll remove this thing. Now take a simple look here. Simple look. What kind of exception it is? Arithmetic. But we don't have arithmetic exception class catch block here. I'll put it here. Arithmetic. Now this is completely fine, right? So first statement 10 by 2 will be 5. Next will be divided by 0. Next one will be 2. Means even after exception is handled, the next statements are executing. Right? Okay. What if I write here array index out of bounds exception? Technically it is correct. No error is there. No red mark. First statement is true. It should be printed. Later, it was mentioned in a try block, unsure statement. But there is no particular catch block to handle that. What about this statement? Will this execute or stop there itself? Tell me. Will the third statement execute? Will you get the same result like this? Means 5 and next line will be some error or something and 2. or you will get different result. Guess it. What would be the result? Tell me, guys. Come on. I'll remove this one also. No issue. As we are dealing with arithmetic, right? Let me come on first. Three statements are there. I had kept the unsure statement in try block, and I have handled the catch block with array index out of bounds exception. But this is not an array index out of bounds exception. And even we are not mentioning just exception. I am particularly mentioning array index. So this is not array index. This is arithmetic. See what happened there. You program, you got 5. After that, you program crashed. Why? Because you have not handled that exception. Because that is different exception. If you put this thing, then it is handled. Means any kind of exception that would be handled by catch block. Right? 5 slash divided by 0 and then 2. Now, instead of this thing, I'll put the same thing here. Now, this is not handled. That's why next statement is not executed. Now, I'll put one finally block and put that statement inside that finally block. See? What would be the result? What do you got? 5, 2, after that there is something. Means the role of finally block is whether there might be exception or not, whether it is handled or not handled. But finally block, the statements mentioned in finally block must execute at any cost. The role of finally block. So previously, okay, if it is handled, then we are getting next one. Even though we have used try block and catch block. If we are handling that correct exception, then only we got the next statement. But if even though we are using try and catch block, but we are not handling that, so our program is crashing entirely from there onwards. This scenario where you are using means this finally block concept. Suppose you have logged into some database. You have performed some query, some fetching data from the database. After that, you have updated some data into database. Some mistake occurred there. But there should be one endpoint, means always the exit should be there. Means you should log out whether your task is completed or incomplete. But at the end, you need to log out. Such kind of DB closing statements should be kept inside this finally block. Means whether your task is done or not done, it doesn't matter. That DB should be closed at the end. Okay, at the time we are using finally block. Understand, guys? Everybody? So exception means an unwanted event occurred during the execution of a program which disturbs the normal flow of execution. How to handle exception? Using try and a catch block. So what is the parent class of exception means? Throwable. Throwable contains two categories. One is error, another one is exception. So there are multiple types of exceptions. Null pointer, array index out of bounds exception, arithmetic exception, out of memory exception, stack overflow. So again, they are categorized into two types, checked exception and unchecked exception. Now the question goes to you is here, I said to you, checked exception means who will check? Compiler will check. This thing. Okay? Compiler will check. Unchecked means compiler will not check that because there is no any technical error in the code. Runtime exceptions means unchecked. These are the examples of arithmetic exception, array index out of bounds exception, and you can call it as null pointer also. How does a null pointer looks? For that one, that thing also we can see here. For this, what I'll do means here, simply what I'll do, instead of writing this thing, imagine there is some variable. I have declared it with integer a equals to null. A equals to null. So what it is saying, see, wait, let's take it as null. String, there is string variable. I need to use object level. Okay, integer cannot be null, means non-primitive additives. There is string. Now instead of this statement, how can we find the length of string? A dot size. A dot, same thing, I'll write it over here. Okay, write it over here. Size is the method. Size or length, what is that?
Length, sir.
Length, right? For array it is size, right?
Yes, sir.
So if it is something like this, 1 2 3 4, okay, 1 2 3 4, what would be the error? So you got 10 by 2 5, next length is 4, this one is 2. Now instead of writing some value to string, I'll put null. For null, is there any length? No, this is also one kind of exception. So here again, I can put that as null pointer exception. See, cannot invoke string.length because a is null, means there is no length. Just a memory is declared, but there are no elements, no data in that. Some space has been. Imagine how a null is treated as, like, suppose you are like you are planning your wedding. You have booked 2 rooms, room A and room B, for your friends. Room A contains 4 members. They came. Room B doesn't contain any members. Means room B people are yet on the journey. So if you try to ask your brother or some cousin, please check how many members are there in a room B, then what would be the result? There are nobody. Means how can you find how many members are there if the room is empty? If there are some people, then you can find and count so and so members are there. Okay, that is the difference of length. So how a null is treated means some room is allocated, means memory is allocated, but there is no data in that. Okay, that is null pointer exception. Array index out of bounds. Then how checked exceptions are there? What are the examples of checked exception?
Stack Overflow.
Stack Overflow. Okay, means compiler will check there itself. Means it will tell you a red color mark. Compile time exceptions means checked exceptions. How they look? Guess. Nobody? Will you try? Like, shall I give you people this one as task? You can find examples for that. Checked exceptions. Checked exception means it must be handled before execution. Why means compiler will not allow you for the exception step. Program will be written Okay, see where it is. I have wrote something. So firstly, you'll write the program. You'll write the here. If we talk about runtime, okay, runtime and compile time. Let's take the category like this. Okay. So firstly, you'll write the program in both for runtime exception or compile time exception. For runtime, compiler will allow. In while execution, you will get exception. Here for compile time means it will not allow you to move further. You need to fix at compile time only. Then only you go for result directly. Okay. You understand the difference? So what kind of things that might occur? You just try to analyze yourself or somebody knows, then you can tell me. So I'm providing this for you as a task, okay? You need to analyze. I'm sure that you will understand, but you won't frame any example with this much knowledge. You need to enter into some next extent in application level. There you will feel the difference. Okay? But please have a try on that. Later, when we enter into Spring Boot, I'll show you the proper example how the compile time exception occurs. Now, just have a idea and check it. Learn yourself through some open source. Okay. So this was about error and exception handling. Okay. Still, there is one more way. Two more ways are there to handle exception. One is try block, catch block, and finally should execute at any time. We are having one more thing is known as throw and throws keyword. So final means constant. Okay. Final means constant. Finally means a block must execute. Okay. We are having one more thing. What is that? Finalize. This we won't use, but this is a JVM's garbage collector. Means whenever some unwanted things are available in your program, means they are not no more use. Like if I show you in the program, okay. See, I have declared A and I have used it here. And these two things. What if I declare here one more variable integer C equals to something like 100? Okay, that is existing in your program, but you have not used this one. Why to declare memory and space? Where's the space? For these things, it will delete. It will run in the background. Finalize method. Garbage collector will like free up your memory space. This one by default. We don't need to write it particularly. Finally means block must execute. Final means constant. These three differences you need to know. And coming to this throw and throws, we'll see in next session. Okay. Before that, you need to know what is compile time exception. We can call it as checked exception. Who will check? Compiler will check. Okay. So then, anybody any doubts?
Sir, like you are telling, there itself the red mark is coming, which is called compile.
Compile. Yeah.
Sir, but that is called as compile time error, right?
Which one?
That run while typing itself semicolon is missing, which is called as compile
Compile.
time error.
Right.
Compile.
Yeah. So see here, like I said to you, there are three steps, right? Uh, belongs to this thing. Firstly, we'll write the program, compile, and then execute. Many people will think that firstly we'll write the program and directly it will execute. No, before execution, compiler will run in background. That we cannot show you in visible way. Okay, that's why I have framed some logic that whenever you are writing the program, if it shows any kind of red color indication, it means your compiler is running in background. So it will point to there itself before executing the program. Like before hitting this button for execution, it will show you with some red color. See, means It is not yet compiled properly. Means your compilation is showing some error. Fix that. Then you can execute. Okay, understood? Just for some notation to show how compiler works, I have used that red color indication here. Okay,
Yes, sir.
still anybody? No doubts? Okay, then let's wind up this session. Okay, please do the task. Okay, try to analyze what is checked exception. So then let's wind up. Okay. Thank you all.